Hello everybody, I'm Richard Gong of Back to the podcast version. Was I speaking English decently? Anyway, so let me speak out. Let me speak out again the greeting phrases or greeting part of usual or ordinary episodes I have recorded in this podcast. So let me greet again. So hello everybody, I'm Richard Gon of Back to the podcast version. Anyway, so I almost forgot to tell you that I almost forgot to tell you that I use this name Richard Gon. Anyway, so why I said that I was using the name Richard Gon as an activity in the internet world is because essentially, as title shows, essentially I wrote a novel. I mean, so if you are frequent listeners, I think you know that I'm a adult content creator, which is why. So if I wrote a novel, so in most cases that novel is a porn novel. So of course I have written some novels which are not porn novels. So it's complicated. So in most cases authors write ordinary novels which are not porn novels, and in most cases, in my case, I write porn novels, and I have read some novels which are not porn novels or ordinary novels, which I think is a proper names for such ordinary novels. Anyway, so in this time what I wrote is a porn novel. So of course I don't tell you the whole story of the porn novel. But anyway, so I wrote a porn novel, and so giving you a hint, what the porn novel deals with is a sexual play called blowjob or fellatio. Fellatio is a formal term for the sexual intercourse or the sexual play or sexual act, meaning blowjob, which means so. What blowjob means is that in most cases a woman sucks the penis of a man, which is such an act or such an activity is called blowjob or fellatio, isn't it? So, and in this case, the sexual act or the sexual activity ideal in the novel is blowjob. Anyway, so after I publish, so I'm of course I'm thinking of uploading those novels, not those novels, those chapters in the novel into Medium. So recently I have written some articles for not novels but for Medium. So I have uploaded some articles into Medium, and I wrote, so when I wrote a book, I sell that book in Kindle, and I'm of course so this time I'm thinking of selling that novel in Kindle. So so there. Anyway, so maybe I shouldn't talk about the detailed rules of Kindle or Amazon this time. So anyway, so what I'm thinking of is stuff like that. So why I'm speaking out in this manner is because so I'm not, I don't know whether I don't know how to call this state, but so in most cases I'm so most people say that I'm drunk, but so I don't know whether it's fine to call this situation intoxicated or not. Anyway, so I'm in such a situation, and I have not written. Well, I couldn't write porn novels because my main work, so if you are frequent listeners of my podcast, you know that you'd know that I'm an office worker, or I'm an office worker of a Japanese company, and so my main work, well, the work as a Japanese office worker was really busy these days, which is why I couldn't spare time for writing porn novels, which is why I could not write porn novels for these days. Anyway, so recently I was busy in my works as an office worker working for a Japanese company, which is why I couldn't spare time for. Well, I could my work was unexpectable. So before months before, or a few months before, until few months. So few months before, until a few months before, my work had been busy, which is why I could not smoothly spare time for writing a porn novels or writing porn novels, which is why I could not write porn novels recently, but I could. So this time I happened to create some time for. So this time I happened to create some durations or some time, which is why I decided to write a porn novel. And this time I created that porn novel. So I'm thinking of pasting the links of the novel into the description column. So of course, so I'm thinking of pasting the link. I'm thinking of pasting some links, not a link. So please notice that I used a plural term for the novel. So I'm thinking of pasting some links or pasting some URLs into the description column of this episode, and which is how you can access each chapter. I'm thinking of enabling you to access each chapter of the novel I created this time. So the purpose or the conclusion of this episode is that I created a novel recently, and I'm recording this episode in the beginning. Yeah, in the beginning of 2022. So there was a huge earthquake in this country, but nobody cares. Nobody cares of such huge earthquakes because Japanese people got used to the natural disasters. So in this case, a huge earthquake happened. That's it. Which is the understanding of most Japanese people. Of course, foreigners. I'm sorry, but this time I call you a foreigner. But of course, foreigners are concerned about natural disasters. But actually, most Japanese people are used to natural disasters, which means it's all right. Everything is going as usual, which is how the businesses of this country go. And so coming back to the original topic of this episode, so essentially I created that porn novel I created a porn novel, which is why I'd like all of you to read that porn novel. So to read the porn novel I created recently, I created this time is, so to read that novel. So I'd like you to check out the description column of this episode, so that you can find out the links leading you to each chapter of the novel, which is what I'd like you to know this time. And at last, so I almost forgot to tell you this, but so of course I create adult content of sadomasochism category, or I create adult content of sadomasochistic category, which means this time the novel I created comprises, not comprises. So comprises is a wrong expression or wrong word for explaining the category of the novel I created this time. But so this time anyway. So of course what is treated in, what is dealt with in that novel I created this time is a sadomasochistic story. Sadomasochistic story is what that novel writes about. Anyway, so the blowjob is included into that porn novel I created this time. And what is treated, or the mainstream is sadomasochistic story, and in which of course so a sadistic lady tortures, or sadistic lady humiliates a masochistic man. So the story goes in such a manner. Please make sure this point, or please make sure that the story goes in such a CFNM manner, like so sadistic lady tortures masochistic man in this case. So please, which is how the story of this novel goes, which is what I'd like you to know this time. Well, which is also what I'd like you to know this time. So that's it. Thank you very much for your listening. See you.